On Monday Motivation today, we have a renowned leadership development strategist, Kemi Ogunkoya, someone who is known to help corporate organizations enjoy seamless leadership transitions. Today, we're going to be talking about overcoming the snags that come with the titles in leadership. Welcome to the show, Kemi.
Thank you very much, Titi. Good morning. It's good to be here.
It's great to see you once again. Now, a lot of people might not understand what you mean by snags and then, of course, titles in leadership. Could you give us a little breakdown?
All right. So snags are some of the bottlenecks that you encounter as, just being in a position of leadership, either because you do not really understand what leadership is all about, and then they're pretty much the pitfalls that leaders could experience. Also, titles come as a result of certain positions that people occupy. So say, for example, you could be the managing director of an organization or a parastatal, or you could be a parent, right? Or you could be a politician. So those are the titles. And a lot of times people fall into the pitfalls of thinking that leadership is all about the position. But then coming to the point of demystifying what exactly leadership is and what leadership is not will help us raise better leaders at home, at work, and also in the nation.
Thank you. So now, a lot of people aspire to get to leadership positions, but they don't understand the responsibility that comes with it. And a lot of people, once they move from one level to the next, they don't actually understand that the relationship they have with their staff has actually changed. So I've always seen that as one of the snags or pitfalls, so to speak. Can you explain to people maybe who have just made a quick change, or maybe they've just been given a promotion, what they should expect when they earn that title of leader?
Okay, all right. So it's important to know that leadership is a service, right? And one of the things that I always preach when I talk about leadership is that leadership is progressive. So for every level you get to as a leader, to get on to the next level, there's a totally new set of skills and new set of requirements that you have to bring to the table. So say, for example, you get into an organization and you probably do not have anyone you're reporting to at that entry level. When you're getting on to the next level, you probably have people to report to. Now, what it takes to manage just yourself within the organization will be different from what it takes to manage two people, will be different from what it takes to manage a team of 10 or 100 or 200. So as a leader, it is important that you keep actively improving on your level of self-awareness. You constantly invest, in understanding people, understanding their emotions, understanding what drives them. You as a leader also having a vision of what you want to achieve. So it is important that as leaders, you understand first that leadership is a continuum. It never ends. So you do not get to a point where you say, you know what, I've read 100 leadership books and I am a great leader. No, you need to constantly understand that you need to keep improving and you need to keep investing in your leadership capital and your leadership potential. So that is what will, pretty much get you to that point of constant improvement. You need to understand what does it take to motivate people, from a diverse background, for example. A lot of times leaders get into one of the pitfalls of thinking that there's a one size fits all approach to leadership. No, as you keep developing, as you keep accelerating the career ladder, it is important that you keep understanding just how people work, how to motivate them, how to, be able to empathize as a leader and get them to achieving a particular goal or result.
Kemi, now I have to ask about the place of education when it comes to leadership. Is this something that you can learn in school, or is this something that just comes with time? Because a lot of people have been in CEO positions, management positions, and they don't seem to be getting the motivation part right. Is there something you would advise leaders in particular positions should go to learn so they can become better at it?
Okay, all right. So, like I said when I answered the previous question, that leadership is progressive, right? And here is, there has been this age-long contention about are leaders born or are they made? So here's the thing. we have some people who have some natural characteristics or traits that position them to, pretty much fall into that category where we can say they're great leaders. But then, with everything that there's a place of nature and then there's a place of nurture. So even if you have been born with some of these traits and these characteristics, if you do not keep improving yourself, then you're not going to get a headlong. But then with what you have in nature, and irrespective of your personality, you have to, understand the place of nurture, which means that you're constantly growing, you're constantly developing yourself, such that you have a clear vision of who you are as a leader. A lot of times when I ask people, when I talk about leadership, who comes to mind? Everybody has a picture of someone who they consider to be a great leader. So when you have that picture in mind, it's for you to also sit down with yourself and create what we call a leadership side picture, which is a representation of the kind of leader that you want to be. And when you have that clear picture in mind, then you have to come up to determining what kind of values, what set of behavior, what characteristics, what traits do you have to project to be that kind of leader. And then beyond doing all the paperwork, you actually start putting all those principles into practice and start behaving in a way that is in line with some of those traits and those values that have been identified.
Thank you so much for joining us again this week, Kemi. I know a lot of people have probably been jotting some of your pointers there. A lot of people don't really anticipate having challenges when they get to the leadership position. They just assume that everything's just going to get better because there's more money coming in or whatnot. But we would love to hear your opinion on social media. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC, and Kemi will be right there to help answer some of your questions. We can't wait to see those comments, by the way. We still have quite a bit to come on this Monday edition of Wake Up Nigeria. Don't go anywhere.